At the north end of Rhodes are two beaches that meet at a point like the top of a triangle. It's a beautiful spot. It's only a few miles across the sea from the mountains of Turkey. Depending on the wind and the weather and what's going on out at sea, the waters on each side at this point are quite different. On one side, the waves might be crashing, and on the other, it's calm. On one side, the water looks green, on the other side, blue. And at the point itself is often turbulence as the waters clash and mingle. In the city of Rhodes, which is just south of the point, we get the clash and mingle of powerful civilizations. We get the pan-European Knights of St. John, the Ottomans with their Islamic culture, latterly the Italians with their imposing fascist architecture. All this is going on alongside Greek Orthodox civilization, which is the living culture of the island with marvellous churches and a wonderful cave shrine on the outskirts of the city. And historically, there was also a Jewish community in Rhodes, although after the Germans turned up in the Second World War, they wreaked murder and havoc there. What happened to the people on the losing side in other invasions and annexations, I don't really know, but the buildings are remarkably intact in the old city of Rhodes. It seems that luckily the various invaders tended not to destroy what was left before, but rather adapt it to their own purposes. So the place is great to wander around. However, we went in March, which is out of season, and most of the buildings were closed. Even most of the shops were closed, although when a big cruise ship would turn up, then they would briefly open up again. Another disadvantage of going out of season is the bus service dwindles to almost nothing. But you can get down as far as Lindos on the east coast. Lindos has a wonderful acropolis, and it is set on a hill between two beautiful bays, which are lovely for swimming. There's also a town, a very quaint little town with a maze of streets. On the west coast of the island, on the bus service, you can get down as far as the airport, and that's about it. However, there are advantages to going out of season. Prices are cheap, it's quiet, there are less mosquitoes, there are no jet skis, and compared to England, the sea is really quite warm, certainly warm enough for swimming, for snorkeling. I saw cuttlefish, I saw pipefish, all kinds of fish to see in the water. And of course, it is also good for swim hiking. I only did one substantial swim hiking route on our trip. I went round the triangle between the beaches, from one beach to the other at the top of Rhodes town. So I started at an old mosque. Its entrance was blocked up by fawns, rather like the castle of Sleeping Beauty. And I got to the water, got changed, put on my swimming suit, put my clothes in the swim sack, shoes in the swim sack, and set off and swam around the point, which was quite exciting as I felt the water changing beneath me and the waves clashing and so on. And then I curved out to sea and then went into land at a little pier, which was past some ancient windmills. I got out and got changed, and after I got changed, I had a curious experience. I was approached by two men, quite tough-looking men, and I assumed they were fellow swimmers and they'd been admiring my swim hiking, but they weren't. They were the Hellenic Coast Guard, and they were obviously suspicious of me. They asked about my passport, they asked where I was from. And then they drove me back to the hotel and checked me out.